Hey guys, so Rose and I are mid-talk, and I just wanted to jump in right here because this is kind of like summing up the gist of it for me. To start, I want to switch gears and start introducing this next work that I'm going to be doing while we're still sticking to the yoga life, the day themes that I have been playing with this past week, and as much as my space as I can as I'm going through a very real transition myself. I want to start being more open and sharing about like how I intuitively learn things and create even my own teaching lessons, because I want you to see how easy it can come together for you, so that when you're having these moments of, is this real or am I crazy? You know, fuck yes, this is real. This is that shit, you know, and you can make your own magic, you know, you can have all the things. Yeah. So I want to talk a little bit about that. Switching gears to the subtle strong flow. And subtle strong is a perfect space to tap into the sacral chakra and what that means for us, or most of us at least, as feminine identifying creative beings. And even men can totally be that. I'm still not finding the best way to comfortably say all that to feel inclusive, but that's my intention. So I just want to start like honoring that space and talking about it, because that's exactly what... Sorry, I dropped the phone. I only have two hands still. Anyway, I wanted to finish just a little bit about why the sacral chakra is the one that I'm going to with this. First of all, it's basically the center of the work that I'm going to be introducing simultaneously while still teaching the yoga life, which like the theme plays in like self-care and self-love, just like everyday routine practices. Just sharing for you to get your own ideas. That's really my hope and dream and wishes all in one. I want to start talking about this new space that I haven't really taught from out loud. And I've definitely been like playing around, like dropping hints, not so subtle sometimes and sometimes more subtle, and talking about like what this is going to look like. And it's going to be talking about that space where our creativity is like born and birthed from. The space where our sensuality and sexuality exist and live, and unfortunately are often blocked and not free-flowing from. I want to talk about the connection to that space and our pleasure principle, and why I believe and learned, and I'm not the only one, I feel like I've read, you know, I don't really read, but I feel like I've heard other teachers referencing this same notion in their own way. Like, I don't know if they're saying it the same way, but so far this is what I'm picking up, and it feels a little like what they're putting down, if that makes sense. That whole womb work, healing, all that healing of like past shit, current shit, now shit you did, shit other people did, all the shits, you know. And for me, that started like, well, you also know that I do my manifesting and my work with the moon. That's my time calendar. If you don't, now you know. So at the strawberry moon, I started like my personal like commitment to like working on this space. I keep saying like to work on this space and to commit to healing and sharing this space, even though it feels really scary. But I feel like this is really where it's always been for me. That's always been my most favorite space to play. It's been a space that I've worked in the past. It's a space that most of my friends have come to me for. And I mean, I feel like maybe not on purpose, but I've pretty much done all the things in, around, and to that space. You can use that any way you want, because it's probably all true. I probably won't say, no, not that, until like a long things later. But we don't have to get there into the details. I just want you to know, like, if you think something that's happened to you feels crazy or embarrassing or regretful or guilt inspiring, and you're not sure how you could picture getting over that to find the space of healing and forgiveness, trust me, I've been probably in that spot, and I can help. And you're not alone. And the biggest thing is just saying, wow, this doesn't feel good and I need to let it go for me. That's our like catalyst in this whole change, is letting that forgiveness be. Forgiveness for yourself, forgiveness to others, forgiveness to people that you've consented to treat you in ways, and forgiveness to people that didn't require or honor your consent. All the things, you know, and just letting it all fall down. Like, in my mind, this work, it comes to a space where you have to stop thinking about anything except for right in this very now moment. And my way of teaching, manifesting, and living and creating from that space, which I'm finding to be super fast. Like, I was texting the girls. Sorry, I feel like I'm hearing voices and I'm sitting by the water. And it's like, don't get pushed in the water. So maybe I will reposition my back. Even though I don't want to. I want to be down in the water, but I'm going to finish this first because I'm responsible. Well, this is actually a really nice view. Thanks, Nancy. Okay, I'm back. So, okay, I want to talk a little bit about our vibration and tuning to that, and why this is important, why this matters, why this is legit, you know? So, okay, let's think about it in the world of attraction and vibration. If you are emitting, if you're feeling a feeling, that feeling is connected to a vibration or a frequency. Therefore, the things that are coming in your experience are mimicking, mirroring somewhat of that feeling that you're in now, and including that momentum that you've got going on. So if you're generally a happy person and you have a sad thought, you're not all of a sudden going to see very sad things happen because of momentum. Thinking momentum. We do want momentum. I know sometimes I don't think so. Like, I talk about the slow quick and how I can't fucking stand it, but it's always good. And now that I'm learning, like, how if I could really slow down and shut the fuck up and listen and forgive and just feel and let the feelings feel and, like, you know, let them. Okay, so this is what I wanted to talk a little bit about. And this is something that Matt Kahn kind of dropped in my ear because he's like my new BFF. I can't wait till we're like having coffee together. It's gonna happen. He's gonna like me, damn it. Even if, I'm telling you, it's gonna happen. I know it, I know it, I know it. God does not lie to me. And if I could dream it, I can achieve it, you know? I'm shutting up. See, it's too much, too much. Here we are, back to sacral, back to following our pleasure center, back to following our creativity, back to filling up your cup first, and why. I mean, aside from our loved ones, the other people outside of that direct bubble, my boobs are weird, sorry. Other people outside of that direct bubble, unless you're like directly like pleasing them or doing something for them, how much are they really thinking about you? Most people want to have their needs met. They want to feel good. And they're gonna go about doing that however they find appropriate. And that kind of depends on what your tune to vibration is. My mom, her thing was get the house clean so she could sit down and smoke a cigarette, drink a soda. My dad's was get work done so we could get on the motorcycle, go hang out with guys. My way was get a break so I could go get wasted and get crazy with my girlfriends. These are just ways that we sort of develop patterns, responses, reactions to the normal life. And we kind of get used to that. Well, none of us have happy hour. It's because we get used to knowing that by that time of the day, we're going to need some happy hour. And in fact, knowing that and wanting that, even if we're not wanting that, subconsciously our ego is reminding you, yes, you do. Stay safe, stay comfortable. This is where we are. But when you turn the present consciousness, you're feeling, oh, how does this feel to me right now? Maybe I don't want to go to happy hour right this minute. Maybe I want to go to the grocery store first. Maybe you still get a happy hour after. That's fine. But just tuning in and saying, you know, usually at Thursday at 4:30, I'm heading to happy hour. What do I want right now? And sit with that. And get into a space where you're like, maybe not meditating. Maybe just chill. Or, better yet, maybe turn on some music and dance and shake your body and get really exhilarated and see what the fuck comes up in your head. Maybe you want to go get a Slurpee first. Maybe there's ice cream first. Maybe you want to hike or swim. Maybe you want to masturbate first. Maybe you want to do a whole bunch of other things that you were going to avoid because you are on this routine. You know, the girls are calling. Happy hour is calling. Happy hour will be there at 7 o'clock. It'll be there at 5 o'clock. It'll be there at 4:15. You know, if something in your mind is saying, take this break for me, just for my pleasure, do that. Why? Well, so glad you asked. What do we do when we feel really happy? How do we respond to others? How do we respond out in the world? And this is just an unconscious, even, not unconscious. I sound like a douche when I'm saying that. Non-awake also sounds like a douche. A non-present person who's just kind of living like I was living until a few years ago. And even a few years ago, I was starting to do this and didn't realize what I was trying to work toward. Where I am now, I'm just trying to be like every moment as present as I can, tuning in, what's going on, and treating this more like a vibrational call and response than what's happening is making me react. Because that's what created the parts of me that kind of made things feel really unwell for me and unhappy and unloving, you know? And that is not because of anybody else, even the people that did things against my will. And that I know is a big thing to say. I don't expect anybody else to reach that space. That was just something that I needed to get to for myself. We could get lost there, so we won't. But I wanted to keep talking more on leading from the point of your personal pleasure and why that is beneficial to others, especially your loved ones, especially your work, especially your body. You know, like if any of those things aren't 100 motherfucking %, this is an easy gateway to sort of like play in a way that you could ultimately not really ruffle any other's tail feathers. I mean, I'm not going to go there. I'm skipping that. You could potentially do this very, very, very subtly and make strong shifts. Subtle, strong, subtle, strong. By tapping into that space, being alone in your room, in nature, in your car, in your closet, wherever, the bathroom, you know, wherever you need to be alone. If you're feeling off wire, go be alone and just tune into that space and think, what would bring me the most pleasure right now? And even if things suck, if you can go ask yourself that, like the spider being away from my belongings would bring me most pleasure right now. And I don't want to hurt her, but I don't want her to hurt me either. So spider, would you mind, please very so muchly letting me finish, and then you can have your space back. That's what I would really like to happen. The spider is totally free. She's an independent stream of source, totally connected to her source consciousness, and I would never interfere with that. If that spider continues to come near me, I'm going to move because that's my path of least resistance, and that is my most pleasurable path. I don't want that spider on me or in my clothes or in my bag, and I respect spider's house. You know what I'm saying? I could smash the spider. Why the fuck would I do that? But I could just right now get up and scream or run away. I could flick and flack and do all that. I'm not going to do that. I am going to say, spider, please kindly either pause or detour, or if this is what I got to do, I'm going to scooch, and I'm fine with all those things because I know that my next move is going to be for my highest source because I'm moving from my state of pleasure. I don't want to mess with her. I don't want her to mess with me. I'm a thinking being. She's followed her source. Let's get back to that. The source, the light, the love, God, all the same word, is the strongest source of power and creation. That's where I want to create from. So why do they say, woo, yes. What do they say about pleasure and appreciation? And, you know, when you're working from appreciation, that's a very high vibration. Well, I just heard somebody else recently talking about how they think pleasure is a higher vibe than appreciation, and I had to agree like immediately. I wish I could remember who it was right now. I'm honestly not sure if it was, oh Jesus. I'm not sure who it was. I feel like I heard it by accident, so I'm still kind of looking for it. But it was definitely an agreeable state of mind. So when I thought about it, I was like, I mean, exactly, because if I'm keeping my pleasure center going, right? Okay, let's back up. Why? If you're in a state of pleasure, that is literally like the appreciation being acted out in your body. That's like, I don't just feeling good about it. I'm actually living it and experiencing it. It is amazing because it's pleasure, right? Later, when you think about it, that's appreciation. That's a down step of vibration. This I'll talk about. When you're in a vibration that feels happy and high and like free and flowing, you wouldn't go meditate. You wouldn't go take a nap. You want to keep that going. That's momentum you want to create on purpose and work with. And tuning in and tapping into this space in our body, kind of a lot of those lower chakras for the space of work. It is not just connected, and it's also connected to, everything is connected, okay? But anyway, I don't want to get too lost. I just don't want to not seem like I'm being fully forward, you know? Like, it is so much more than just this, but I just feel like this is an easy way to tune in and tap in to this space. And because I've been finding the turn back so fast that I feel like for somebody that's wanting to play with on purpose creating, manifesting, changing their body, changing their work, changing their love, changing anything that they can think of that they want to change or enhance or improve, that you could simply work from a space of, I'm doing this because this feels good to me. When things feel good to me, I am more loving, I am more generous, I am more giving, I'm more accepting, I'm more patient, I'm more compassionate, I'm more of all those things, not with just myself, but with everyone else, even strangers, spiders included. So if you can imagine like constantly being, I mean, no, we can't constantly be that high vibe. We do have to sleep or we would crash and fall down. Sadness does come in the forms of any layer of range, and that kind of depends on your personal learning how to respond or react, and choosing to do that deliberately or not, and continuously trying to mold your momentum to keep it going. Like sometimes we start in a place, it's like, well, work is good and this is good, but this sucks. Well, then we focus on the things that are good and just kind of let the thing that sucks breathe away from us. A few days of not doing this sucks will do remarkable improvement. And if you cannot do things, not think about those things that suck, if you could totally take a mental and or physical and or just taking the high road on those things for a few days and let your pleasure center run. So what does that mean? If you have to do work that you don't like, make it the most enjoyable you can. Wear like your favorite underpants under your clothes. Listen to your favorite songs on the way to work. Take your break and enjoy the break. Take your most delicious foods while this is still winding down, while this momentum is stopping. Like a lot of times when we're still living an experience that we fucking hate, it doesn't feel like we're finding pleasure. It's more like rage. We talked a little bit about rage last time. Ask me if you need rage work. We got rage, girl. But keeping on to pleasure, because if you think about it, it's not that far away. That love, hate, and oh God, I can't do this right now. Pain, pleasure, we know where this is going. I'm out in nature and I can't see behind me. I'm not gonna keep going there. The spider is still here. She's quietly tucked inside of my strap, which I probably need to look at soon. It's been up to 15 minutes. Pooh, I gotta walk. Oy. Anyway, it's all good. It's all great. It's all for me and I love it. I'm going to continue to work from my pleasure principle. I'm going to walk slow. I'm giving myself plenty of time to get back so that I'm not late and I don't cause ripples in my arrangement, even if it's not my favorite arrangement. It's what's happening. What's the point of me making a stink? If you choose your vibration, things start to reflect that. Right now, we have momentum going where me and my partner aren't equally always seeing eye to eye, but we're both giving each other space. We kind of have moment and we let it breathe. And we're doing both really well, and maybe the best that we could possibly be fucking doing for who we are. And I know for me, if I feel, and I know, and I've practiced that if I stay in my own lane and tune to my own vibration, that's the best that I can do for our moments, even when they're really hard. Some of them are really hard. But I feel like that if we keep reaching for that space, you know, this is the best that we can do. Reaching for good feelings, that mirrors back in many ways from the universe. The universe wants you to get what you want. Law of attraction is as real as gravity. Momentum is as real as gravity. If you start to feel and practice a thought or a feeling or a yoga thought or a yoga feeling, you will see it change your body. You can see your body change. You can see your emotions change. You can see your life experiences change. Things change when you change your feelings and your direction and your attention. And definitely, if you start to respond on purpose and not react to what is happening to you, let yourself decide, oh, that fucking hurt. I'm gonna pause because all I'm gonna do is send more hurt back, which is fine. You send more hurt back this time, maybe next time you can pause. That's a learning space. That's like, oh, I see what I just did there. I felt hurt. I gave her right on back. That is a really good spot to be in. That's one of the best spots to be in because it's the honest part of saying, you know what they say, like, you can't really start identifying or fixing a problem until you can like name it and say it out loud. That's literally saying, oop, I didn't like that. And then I didn't like the way that I acted back. And next time, you know, try to consider giving that pause, just sometimes a breath will, like, first of all, let your vibration kind of rise, or at least let your initial intention, your now, because just noticing that you don't like it is already starting to shift the work. When you go about and just keep continuously making excuses, which is fine too, that's just not the space where you're going to be making change. It's just going to keep recycling the same. The fight will happen again. The words will be different. And the reaction now is your chance again. Are you going to act the same exact way and have this fight again? Or are you going to pause and try to speak from the I, not what you've done to me, what you make me, you know, I feel like this, and I feel like my best move is this. And, you know, I like what he said this morning, Matt said this morning about, I'm sorry that you're upset about the change that I represent. And that one has been like such a delicious nugget. But still, it's the idea of pleasure. Like, I have to do this. And I'm sorry, deeply fucking sorry, that it does not feel good to you, because that is the last fucking thing that I want. And I believe that that is why it is so hard for me. And I'm fine with it being hard, because I stepped up to that. I asked for it in the sense of, I want the complete freedom. And I knew that this was something that was missing in my life. Unlike the spider who I wish I knew she was missing, and now I'm nervous she is somewhere about to eat me or crawling on my pants legs. And she's so big. Did you see her? Oh my God. Okay. I need to calm down. She's not in my pants. She is not in my pants. She is not in my pants. I was looking at tadpoles and she's not in my pants. There's a mushroom that you want to see. Should we get that guy? Maybe. Sounds like sure, why not? Let's just see what it looks like under there. Looks kind of cool. Anyway, I'm going to get back and relieve Dad and see my littles and have some quiet time, more time for me, which is really cool. I'm going to keep taking it easy, do some laundry, fix the house, and it's all going to be because I want it to have an easy week next week. And I know that these things in place in our house will make that happen. So I'm just going to take my time and do them all like nice and slow and how I want to, you know? And right now, that's my best move. You know, that's my path of least resistance, and that's working from the space of giving me the most joy, most appreciation, and especially in a place where it doesn't feel like appreciation is busting out the fucking asshole, you know? That's my best move. That's how I, today, in this moment, do the next best thing. And when I get home and things are there, we'll do the next best thing. And when we get there, it'll be, you know what I mean? It's a continuous molding. When I stop paying attention, if I'm happy and great, that's fine. Then I'm paying attention, because when you're happy, you're paying attention. When you're enjoying pleasure, you're paying attention. You're not in the middle of receiving pleasure and not there. You know what I mean? One way or another, you're there. So, and that's kind of what another thing, it's just an easier vibration to be aware and to be tuned into and to be living present and to be creating on purpose from. And even if it doesn't feel like pleasure is what's going on, reaching from a space of letting that creativity spot, that, oh, Jesus, a great big old worm. Speaking of slimy pleasure, look at this bitch. Sorry. Not sorry. Right underneath the mat. Okay, I'm getting out of here because all the creepy crawlies are on me, and I love them, but I don't want to. I don't want to. And also, I don't want to be late. So work from a space where, you know, you can just say, you know, this is what I'm doing, and this is my way to do it so that it brings me the highest vibration possible while still honoring what I want to do. And XYZ, continuing. And just let that kind of play this week. Work with the different poses of your choosing, or the ones that we share, and then just see if you can let this strong, subtle play in your body. Think about the changes that you want while you're practicing, and just see if you can, like, notice, first of all, how fast it can be if you're willing to allow that, but just let that come and let that, like, noticing be there, and see, like, how fast, you know, you could notice a little change, and then it turns into like a little more and a little more and a little more. And it really doesn't take any time before it literally feels like, oh, things are kind of working out for me to feel good. And the more that I work to feel good and tell the universe the vibration that I like that, I want more of that, I'm paying attention to that. All you have to do is pay attention to it. It's not science. Usually when we're in joy or in pleasure or happy, we're paying attention to that. It's present, you know? Which is why if you just stay there, it's easy to just stay there. You don't have to really do anything. It feels like we should always be doing. But that's really not as helpful as we may have been led to believe. So, you know, in another space of trying to come at it a different way, that's my suggestion. And I'm gonna go walk up the hill and not talk, so that by the time I get there, I don't sound like a dirty pervert. What? All right, I will see you guys later. So, and just because I wanted to just come right back and sum it up, because I'm not sure I made it. I got like a few self-interruptions, and I need us to have a couple minutes, so I figured I should dot. The point of working from a place of pleasure and not reaction. When you're on purpose sending out the vibration, that even when things don't feel good, you still want the highest point for you to always come out. You can start to create a loop where you are creating from a place of, what do I want? What do I prefer? What brings me most joy? Not from, this motherfucker did this to me and now I'm acting like this. No, it's a way of you being like, I control my vibration. And of course, the first few times you do it, it's going to be a mess. Nobody's going to want you to fucking stop pleasing them. They're not going to want you to say no. They're not going to want you to say yes. Whatever it is, it's going to be a couple ripples, especially the people that you've been pleasing in spite of yourself, especially those. And just try to be patient with it and just say, you know, I just kind of want to try this angle of, you know, loving me a little more. And for this healing spot, that requires me to sort of put myself first for a little while. And I don't want to make you feel like I'm abandoning you or being cold to you. And I don't want to make you feel like I'm trying to be unloving. But I kind of feel like there's a nugget for me here that I need to discover and allow in my life for myself. And I feel like once I can do that, I can come back to you, I can come back to us, I can come back to this space and I'll be better. And then I'll do better by you. And then us will just be better. And, you know, I just really want you to try to hear that if you can, because that's the best way that I can make that make sense out loud in my head. You know, just kind of talk about it as much to what it feels like for you as you can. And if you can't, then don't. Don't talk bad about yourself. Never. As soon as you feel like you're starting to explain, the guilt is coming, because the guilt comes. You know it's time to wrap it up. That's time. The conversation has ended. As soon as you start feeling sorry for somebody else, you're losing your vibration, because God doesn't feel sorry for them. Everybody has a right in every moment to choose their vibration and to choose their attention and what they're focusing on. And when we're on purpose focusing, it just takes a little bit of patience, a little bit of momentum, and just a lot of self-joy, self-happy, self-satisfying, repeated notions, one little thing at a time, while you're doing all the things, and just keep doing it and doing it and doing it, like you're throwing one more little rock in the pebble, one more little rock in the pile, and then it gets so big, and then your whole life is just shifted, and all you do is just start fucking loving yourself and trying to put what you want just before everybody else's. You still want to do everything, you just want to make sure you feel really good first. Like, that's really it. You still do everything, you know, and the thing is, you're going to do it, and maybe the first couple times it don't feel like it. Maybe the first time it feels like, God, this is bullshit. I really want to cuss that bitch out, you know? But let it land and be like, wow, I did that. And you'll see it. You'll see it right away. You'll see it. And if you're being authentic, so if you're being snarky and snacky, you'll see a dip, but you'll see that too. When you start seeing the patience come around from even the people that are normally giving you grief, or they just stop coming around altogether, maybe they change, you know? Maybe your change sparks theirs, and they didn't even realize they were treating you like that. That's happened more than one time to all of us. So, yeah, don't make it about like, I'm doing this for me so much as I'm doing this for me. Because really, it's going to be better for you too. You know, I can't do for you what I can't do for myself. If myself ain't 100, I'm not going to give you 100. I can't. How the fuck could I do that? I would not be a life source if I don't have my source. You know what I mean? Like, I can't be alive if I give you part of what I don't have. And then it starts breaking down into other systems, into, you know, the way that we work, our self-confidence, the way we treat others, the way we treat our family, the way we treat our children, the way we treat our lovers, the way we do our work, the way we treat our clients, all the beautiful flowers. You know, everything. The way that we handle our food, the way that we talk to our body, the way that we take care of our body. I mean, the list goes on. We all know how it is. It's like one thing, and then London Bridge came falling down. And a lot of times we get into that loop. It's like, oh, I know this is coming. But just like we got into that one, we can get back to like, I'm going to let it start changing. I'm going to start pleasing me first. And I'm going to let the universe get on board. Because it will. It just will. If you want to be sad, the universe will support that. If you want to be happy, the universe will support that. If you want to live for the highest good of all and just seek pleasure as often as you can, the universe will support that. I'm going to go because now I'm starting to be like panty. The universe will support that. Bye, guys. And one last nugget. Example, if you will.